A friend of mine asked me, "What's your favorite month?" I said, "July." He said, "Why July?" I said, "I didn't lie." It's a bit of a weird one, that one. Welcome to Shave&Butcher, and it's going to be a little bit of an unusual shave, at least for me. So I've been shaving my head since I was, doesn't matter, I've been shaving my head for 21 years, and I always used one of these, or a variation thereof. This is a Gillette cartridge razor. When I first started shaving, they had one blade, and then they got two, and then three, and then I don't know how many that is, but a lot, 20 or so. Then I discovered these bad boys, straight razors. So I started shaving my face with these. Not doing that at the moment, but I will soon once winter is over. So I shaved my face with this. I didn't want to use it on the head because that would just be insane. So I continued shaving my head with these cartridge razors until I discovered the leaf razor. Works kind of like a cartridge. You put in 1, 2, or 3 blades, and the blades you put in are these safety razor blades. So perfect, better than the cartridge. I've made videos talking about that. A lot of benefits, basically. But since I have shaved my head with a straight razor, and I'm not doing that very often because it's bloody difficult and there's usually a lot of blood and it takes a lot of time. But I'm not sure I've ever shaved my head with a safety razor. I probably have, because I have a few safety razors. Sometimes I shave my face with them, but if I have shaved my head with a safety razor, I've forgotten about it. So I'll do it today, and if it isn't the first shave, it might as well be the first shave, because I'm not quite sure how to do it, but I'm sure we'll manage. So I'm choosing the first safety razor I ever purchased. This is an Edwin Jagger DE86. Not a lot of people have this, so it's probably not very popular. Pretty standard safety razor. 3 pieces. You screw the handle off, you put the blade on this, and then you screw it all together. So we'll do that. Goes on the pin, and then the base plate, and then screw the handle on. He says, "What's wrong with it?" Nothing. What's wrong with you? There you go. So that's a safety razor. Just one blade, sticks out on both sides, so you can turn it around and cut it whichever way you want to. I have for a long time been using a brush to make the lather, even before I started straight razor shaving. So I've got a brush, I've got a soap. I'll make a lather out of, from the bowl of soap with the brush. This is a Badger brush. It's from Jeff Anderson, GA7 it is called. I don't think he makes brushes anymore. The soap is from Portugal. This is Mazagran from Westman Shaving. Not a lot left, so we'll use it while we can. I have a matching aftershave balm that I will use. Different angle from what I'm used to. It's because I will attempt to shave my head, and I thought you may want to see when I cut myself. So, loading the brush in the container, and then building the lather on my head. That is the plan. So, a little bit nervous. I'm quite sure I'm going to cut myself a little bit. It's not the end of the world if you do, unless you get a deep cut. A little bit of blood hasn't really hurt anyone. we go. I'm going to wet my head first. So I have about 2 days of growth on the head. I usually shave my head every day, but it's weekend, and then I take a day off occasionally. So building the lather is a big part of my shaving routine. If you watch the channel regularly, you will know this, and you may get bored with me lathering. Sometimes it takes about 8 minutes. I'll try and do it a bit quicker today. When I shave with a straight razor, I'm very, very particular about the lather. When I shave my head, a bit less so. I even use shaving gels. I don't use the kind of the foam that comes straight out of a bottle. I have one of those, I think. At least I used to. Works just fine as well. But as a nice little routine, and you know, your own personal spa experience, it's nice to use something other than canned foam. I'll add a bit of water. That's all I'm doing. I started off with a moist brush, where I squeezed the water out before I picked up soap from the container. Then I load it onto the surface I'm going to shave, and then I add water gradually. So I like my lathers quite wet. Okay, let's see. This should be pretty straightforward, because I am used to shaving my head, and I am used to using safety razors. So yeah, this cuts the hair off like there's no tomorrow, and you can't really feel the cutting action. I have a mold once the animal that I've been opening up quite a bit lately, so I'm shaving around that to avoid blood. The only thing you have to think about, and it comes pretty naturally when you've shaved a specific surface a lot of times, you want to get the angle reasonably right. With the cartridge razor, you just whack and go. You want to get an angle that actually cuts the whiskers. You find it pretty easily. The trick with this one typically is not to use too much pressure. I'm trying to use actually very little pressure. Swapping to my left hand, I think that's easier. You don't have to, but you can. So I'm attempting to, as I said, put as little pressure on as possible. The idea is to use the weight of the razor and not much more than that. Seems to be going well. I hope I'm cutting hair properly. I'm gonna get my hand wet and get a feel. I've missed a few spots. Well, we'll clean up later on. Okay, so Let's see if you can see me. Now, these blades are obviously very sharp. I find the biggest advantage is that my skin is in a lot better condition when I've used one of these compared to a cartridge razor. I never get a rash. I never really get skin irritation. Yeah, I mean, even if I'm not used to using this kind of razor on my head, it really is quite intuitive, quite automatic. As long as I don't put pressure on it, works just fine. Okay, so that was the shave. Re-wetting the surface, there's no need to put additional soap on it, because if you have a good soap and a good lather, it will stay on your skin. Just trying to go a different direction. It will stay on your skin, so you just get it wet again and you're good to go. Perfect. Perfetto. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I might actually start using these a bit more. I have quite a few safety razors. So compared to the leaf that I'm using or a cartridge, I'm having to, or I'm choosing to go over some of the surfaces again, just to make sure I get everything, and where I haven't got it, I think the angle has been slightly off. But that's pretty perfect. Pretty perfect. Easy. Well, it was easy. So, first time using a safety razor, shaving my head. Didn't take very long, did it? And the result is great. Just as good as a cartridge. So these are a lot less expensive to operate, because these blades cost next to nothing, and you get quite a few shaves out of a blade, at least as many as you get with a cartridge. So you save money, unless you start collecting them, like I generally do when I try something new. You get a skin condition which is a lot better and slightly more fun, slightly more enjoyable. Okay, Masa Grande aftershave. This is a liquid balm. It had a restrictor in it when I got it. I think that's boring. So I took the restrictor out to make sure I get a lot of juicy stuff out. Remoisturizing your skin is important. So this is, unlike a traditional aftershave, has moisturizing elements in it. Good to go. Glad I tried it. I might try it again. So that's me shaving with a safety razor for the first time. At least first time in a long while. Thanks for watching. If you like what you see, like the video, subscribe to the channel, you know the drill, and I'll see you soon. Stay sharp.